Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to continue with the further part of the lesson Environmental Balance. In the previous video, we have studied that in nature there are many food chains. Okay, so see one question they are asking us, that is, if one of the links in a chain is lost from the chain, can the food chain last? Means you can see one chain is given to you all, that is sunlight, grass, rabbit and snake. Means grass grows in the presence of sunlight, rabbit is feeding on the grass and snake feeds on the rabbit. So any one from them, for example grass, rabbit or snake, from this any one is missing, can the food chain last or can it continue? No. Okay, so after studying this point, let us move on to the next important point, that is the food web. So they are asking us to observe the various food chains shown in the picture given below. So this is the picture and we have to recognize or observe various food chain. Okay, so few I will tell you all, others you can find. You have to study or observe this food chain with the help of arrow. So see, the first picture which you have here is grass. So look at the grass. From there the arrow goes near the deer. Means grass is eaten by deer. Deer is eaten by fox. So this is one food chain. Next, grass is eaten by deer and deer is eaten by lion. This is other one. Now next one, grass is eaten by worm. Worm is eaten by grasshopper, grasshopper by frog, frog by snake, snake by eagle. So like this variety or different food chains you can find. Now we'll move on to the fruits. Fruits are eaten by rabbits and rabbits are eaten by eagle. Or fruits are eaten by rat. Rats are eaten by snake and snakes are eaten by eagle. Or fruits eaten by rats and rats directly eaten by eagle. Next, rat. Rat, how can you take? Fruit, same. Okay, so like this many food chains you can find. Or like this also, see, grass eaten by worm, worm eaten by grasshopper, grasshopper eaten by rat, rat eaten by snake, snake eaten by eagle. So in nature we have different types or different kinds of food chain. Okay, next here, can you tell, find the different food chains of which the worm and the mouse form a link. Means you have to see different food chain in which you will have worm and rat as one link. Okay, so first we will learn about worm. So see, if we'll start from grass, then we will have worm. Worm will be eaten by grasshopper, grasshopper by frog. Or students, fruits or leaves are eaten by worm. Worm is eaten by grasshopper. Here you can stop. So like this, in this food chain we had worm. Now rat. Fruits are eaten by rat. Rats are eaten by snake. Snake is eaten by eagle. Or fruits are eaten by rat and rats are directly eaten by eagle. Or you can go from here. See, worm, grasshopper, rat. So these are the different food chains in which you can find worm or mouse as a link. So students, always remember, one living thing can be a part of number of food chains. So just now we have seen worm or rat, both were there in different food chains, isn't it? So we can say that one living thing can be a part of number of food chains, and this gives rise to food web in nature. So what have we studied about the food web? The food chains are interlinked. That means we are unable to separate the food chains. They are always interlinked, means they are dependent on each other. Next, one living thing can be a part of many food chains. The interlinking of several food chains forms a food web. Let us now study about the point, the most important food in food chains, that is what? Plants. Okay. So see students, every living things which are present on the earth are getting their food from the environment. Even we human beings get food from the environment. Means we are dependent on some animals or some plants for our food. Yes. So there are some, means whatever vegetables we eat, they are present in environment. Cereals, pulses, we get them from environment. So every living thing which are present on the earth get their food from the environment. So there are many animals in the environment which eat only the plants, while there are some animals which eat the other animals that are living on plants. Yes. So some animals like goat, deer, you can see they are just eating grass. But there are some animals which are eating the animals which are living on the plants. But students, plants are only the living things which make their own food. Now how do they make their own food? They make their own food in the presence of sunlight. You can see here in the picture they have given us. They prepare their own food in the presence of sunlight. They use water and the carbon dioxide and oxygen, not oxygen, carbon dioxide which is present in the air. Yes. So see, the plant prepare their own food by using the water and carbon dioxide which is present in the air. Yes. So this tells us that the plants are the main source of food chain, or the plants are the main support of every food chain. So now we'll revise the role of plants in the food chain. So see here, animals do not make their own food, but plants make their own food in the presence of sunlight with the help of green colored pigment which is called as chlorophyll. So in the leaves we have this green color pigment, and this green color pigment is called as chlorophyll. And this chlorophyll is present in leaves. Now what do they use? They use carbon dioxide and water. Yes. So the carbon dioxide is present in air, and they use this carbon dioxide from the air and water and prepare their food. This process is called photosynthesis. Okay. So see student, there are some animals which are directly or indirectly dependent on plants for their food. So plants are the main support of every food chain. Good morning dear students. Today we are going to continue with the lesson environmental balance, and we are going to study the last point, that is environmental balance. So in the previous videos we have learned about different food chains which are present in our environment. So we all know that there are many food chains in our environment, and only because of these food chains each and every living things on the earth are able to get food and they continue to live. So as we all know that there are microorganisms in the soil, and these microorganisms are helping us in the process of decomposition. So what are microorganisms? The minute particles which we are unable to see with our naked eyes are called as microorganisms, and they also help us, and they are living things. How do they help us? The microorganisms which are living in the soil help us by the process of decomposition. Decomposition means what? By converting the residues of the plants into fertilizers. Okay. you have seen when a wet leaves in rainy season nowadays, you can see many leaves fallen down on the land, that is on the soil. You can see they are wet and slowly they become small in size, or some particles of it goes into the mud. You can see that process is called as decomposing. Yeah, so it helps in the process of decomposition of plants residues, whatever is remains of plants, that it helps in decomposing. Even the dead animals and excreta means the unwanted waste from the bodies of the animals is called as excreta. So that is also decomposed in the soil, and because of this, what happens, the plants are able to grow. Yes, why? Because the substance that helps the growth of plants are formed because of the decomposition, and this gets added to the soil, and plants are using this for their growth. So we can say that plants use the substances in the soil for their growth, and when animals die, the decomposition of their remains adds these substances to the soil once again. So this is one kind of cycle only. Yes, and this is one of the important cycle in the environment. Again, the plants will, if anything, dry leaves, eaten fruits, or dead animals, they will die, they will get decomposed. Again, fertilizers will be present in the soil, plant will use it, plant will grow properly, again we will get this all things back. Yeah, so this cycle is going on continuing. So this is one of the important cycle which is going on in our environment. Next, that is also the living things get a continuous supply of water because of water cycle, is it? We have seen in the previous lesson what is water cycle. Evaporation, condensation and rain. These three processes are going one after the other. In the hot sun, water evaporates, it vaporizes and goes into the atmosphere. There it condenses, and after condensation again we are having rainfall. Again water evaporates, again condensation, rainfall. So this is also one of the important process which is going on in the atmosphere. Now the next process, that is living things use oxygen from the air for breathing, isn't it? And when they are inhaling this oxygen, at the same time they are exhaling which gas? Yes, carbon dioxide. And the whatever carbon dioxide we exhale, means whatever carbon dioxide we give out, that same carbon dioxide is used by the plants, and plants make their own food with it. Okay, so plants use the carbon dioxide from the air for making their food. So oxygen is given out in the process when the plants are preparing food, and then it gets added to the air, and this is also one of the cycle in nature. See, once again I'll explain you. We give out carbon dioxide that plants are using and preparing food. We inhale oxygen, but who is giving this oxygen? Plants are giving. When plants are preparing food, they give out oxygen that we use, and we exhale carbon dioxide, that carbon dioxide plants use. So this is also one cycle which is present in our environment. So like this, there are many different cycles which are always going on continuously in our nature, and thus we can say there is interaction amongst living things and between living and non-living things in nature. Okay, so there is interaction between whom? There is interaction between living things and also living and non-living things. And whatever interaction is going on in the environment, it is continuous. Yes, and this helps to maintain the food chains in the environment. Okay, so children, when the various cycles in the environment go on uninterrupted, environmental balance get maintained. So what is meant by uninterrupted? It goes on without any break, continuous process. Okay, so when different cycles are going on continuously in the environment, then only students the environmental balance is maintained. Okay, so now always remember, for the existence of living things, it is important that environmental balance is maintained. Means if we want living things to exist in this world or on this earth, then we must have balance in the environment. Okay, so students, the last thing, that is what we have learned. We have learned that there are innumerable types of living things on the earth, isn't it? Then we have learned there is interaction between living things and non-living things in the environment. Later on we had learned different kinds of animals, plants and microorganisms are found in different regions of the earth. And last we have seen that the water cycle, various other cycles and food chains in nature help to maintain the balance in the environment. This balance has been maintained for thousands of years. So students, here we have completed the 4th lesson from our Environmental Studies Part 1 textbook, that is Environmental Balance. I hope you all have understood the lesson. So do read the lesson and try to understand it.